folks, welcome to Montana Prepper 101. This video is how to start prepping for less than $100. So what we're going to do is give you some basic ideas of things that you can go out and buy for less than $100 to get started on prepping for whatever emergency that you're worried about, to help be able to feed your family in a time of need. Okay, so the first thing we'd like to start talking about, guys, is the 5-gallon buckets with the gamma lids. These are great tools to be able to store food, whatever you want to store in here, and they're cheap and reasonably priced. So these food grade buckets are $5, roughly somewhere in that area. The gamma lids themselves are around $7 a piece. Now the great thing about the gamma lid, when you want to get access to your food, you just unscrew the gamma lid, you reach in and get whatever the food product is that you're trying to get out of there. So again, $5 and then $7 for the lid. And so for a set, we're going to start out talking about beans and rice. Cheap food that you can buy in bulk at pretty much anywhere. Walmart, you can go to Costco. We personally like to go to Winco is the store that we like to use. They have a lot of bulk food items that we can buy there for reasonably priced. Let's say the 13 bean soup. This is on the more expensive scale because the 13 bean soup actually has the 13 beans in it. So you can see your lentils, black eyed peas, pintos, small lima beans, things of that nature. Now, with that soup, we can do a lot of different variations. We can do an actual 13 bean soup, or you can add, whatever, and make it into your own recipe. That's $33 a bag for a 25-pound bag, which fills the bucket up to right here. So the next thing we talk about is pintos. Now pintos are super cheap. You can get a 25-pound bag of those for $15. And everybody knows what a pinto looks like. And again, for 15 bucks, you can't go wrong with having that. So let's talk about the rice. We have multiple varieties of rice. My personal favorite is brown rice, and we always get a long grain. So this is the brown rice that we have, and we get brown rice for roughly $17 for 25 pounds, which fills us up to here. Now another option, if you don't want to buy that and you want to get started with something that has a variety of different things, you can always go and purchase one of these kits. Now this is a 30-day one-person supply kit. There's 200 servings with 30 grams of protein per day. And it's roughly 1,236 calories a day. That's not a lot of calories, but you can always add to that, and it gives you a good staple. So some of the things, and this isn't everything that's in there, but some of the stuff, so here is a hearty vegetable chicken flavored soup mix. You have maple brown sugar and oatmeal. There is powdered milk. You have cheesy broccoli and rice, and creamy potato soup mix. On here they'll tell you everything else that they have, like strawberry flavored cream of wheat, buttermilk pancakes, fettuccine alfredo. So there's a lot of different things. So if you really want to start prepping, you can't go wrong with doing the beans and the rice. You can't go wrong with buying the 30-day food kits. These are $70, by the way, and you can get that on Walmart.com. So if you're worried about having food storage, or even just something that you can use on a daily basis, which we use all of our food on a regular basis, so we keep them in a 5-gallon bucket so that we can actually use them. The only ones we don't use on a regular basis are these particular ones here. We have cooked them just to see how they taste, and they actually taste really good. You can add some rice to it, even some beans or whatever to these to get a little bit more calorie intake. So those are the basics that we wanted to point out today for you guys. If you really want to get started in this, you can do it for fairly cheap. Beans, rice, easy thing to do. You can buy oatmeal. We can get cream of wheat. You can get pretty much anything that you can imagine in bulk and put them in these 5-gallon buckets and use them on a regular basis. Spaghetti, noodles, you name it, whatever. So that's always the cheapest way to kind of go about things. Now guys, as far as us, what we do, we keep a recipe book for all the different things that we have. And let's say in our recipe book, we do our own pancake mix, right? And there's a couple other things that we do. I mean, simple white cake mix that we do with our flour and sugar and stuff of that nature. Just cornbread. There's our 13 bean soup recipe that we use, and buttermilk biscuits. And so those are all things that we keep on a regular basis and that we store, and we keep them in a book so that we have those. We actually know these recipes by heart now, but it's always good to have them in case somebody doesn't know what they're doing with it. So that was just a brief overview of how you can start buying preps for less than $100, and you can get started on protecting your family in case of an emergency, and it doesn't matter what the emergency is. If your power is out for 3 or 4 days, you got to have a way to be able to eat. If there's a natural disaster in your town, you've got to be able to eat, and so that's just an important part of life that we all have to have. Our next series, we're going to talk about water storage and things of that nature. So if you like the video, please hit the like button. And if you want to get more of our videos, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button too. And that way you can be notified. Okay, guys, you have a wonderful day. Keep prepping, and God bless.